What's up, family? Hey, today I want to do a very relevant video for you guys. It's going to be an educational one too, and it's going to be titled First Amendment. Simply put, First Amendment. Now, a lot of y'all know what the First Amendment is. Some of you don't. Some of you vaguely know, or maybe some of you was like me when I was in school, not paying attention, because it was all ran across to us, whether we was in elementary school, middle school, high school, or college. But if you were like me in school, you was goofing off being a class clown. But we're going to do First Amendment today. There are plenty of other videos out here, but here's mine from my perspective. And another reason I'm doing this, because a lot of us out here got stressed with things we're dealing with, especially with this COVID thing, or whatever you're dealing with, rather it's financial, whatever, some type of stress. But the reason I'm doing this video, because of a personal reason, I did a most recently video, and I had titled it, "The Media is Supposed to Inform You, Not Try to Influence You." Now, in that video, I did no cussing, no unlawful acts, no obscenities whatsoever, but they took it down, all because I mentioned COVID-19. Now, a lot of us, we have family, friends, co-workers, or whatever, that we have lost because of this virus/vaccine, whatever the case, right? But because I spoke on it, how dare they tell me that's inappropriate? You don't know my pain. You don't know what this person, that person been through. How dare these establishment platforms tell you you can't speak out on something that's touched you personally? There are plenty of people across the land that it has touched them personally. They have taken loss because of it. And how dare the internet establishment tell you, oh, you can't talk on that? How dare you? You're not me. You're not my family or who I lost from that. How dare you? And that's why I said I'm going to do the First Amendment, and we're going to touch on just how hypocritical they are for saying, oh, we're going to take down your video. How dare you speak on that? That's why I did another video called Internet Hypocrisy. I think I titled it Hypocrisy, talking about internet platforms and their hypocrisy. So let's jump right into the First Amendment. Now I'm going to read verbatim, meaning word for word, on the First Amendment. It's just about 2.5 paragraphs. It could go longer, but I'm going to give you the short version. And I'm going to read it verbatim, meaning word for word. And after I read it, then I'm going to give you time to think, and then I'm going to read it again. But this time, I'm going to be more analytical when reading it, therefore breaking it down for you. Now, I always give y'all a word of the day, but in this video, it's going to be a bunch of words of the day. So just pay attention. I already started one out already, analytical, and there's going to be plenty more. So here we go. We're going to read this verbatim, First Amendment. Now, here's your time to truly pay attention. Check this out. This is how the First Amendment goes. So how dare these platforms say, you can't say that? You don't know me. You don't know my pain. How dare you? But here we go. Congress prevents the government from making laws which regulate an establishment of religion or that would prohibit the free exercise of religion or abridge the freedom of speech, the freedom of the press, the freedom of assembly, or the right to petition the government for redress of grievance. That's the First Amendment. It was adopted on December 15, 1791 as one of the 10 amendments that constitutes the Bill of Rights. Now I want you to think about everything I just said. I know I have said quite a few words in there that some people know and some others may be like, what the heck does that word mean? So now here we go again. If I ask the average person out there, what does the First Amendment mean? See, now, you can answer that in multiple kind of ways. You could either say, well, I don't know. Remember, it's never a dumb question. It's not dumb to ask if you don't know. It's only foolish if you don't know and you act like you know. I remember I learned that in school, never forgot it. You're not a fool if you don't know and you admit you don't know. So now you can know, you can learn. But when you act like you know and you don't, that's foolish. So don't be foolish. So you ask the average person, what is the First Amendment? To put it in a nutshell, it simply means freedom of speech. So you could give an educated guess if you knew that. You give an uneducated guess, or just be a simple guess, or you could just say, I don't know. But to put it in a nutshell, it means freedom of speech. So now, let's go back to that same thing that I read. Now I'm going to read it again to you. But as I said, here come the big words to some. Here come new words that you should use in your everyday vocabulary. Now I'm going to give it to you in a way that you won't forget. Pay attention this time. I'm gonna read the same thing again, but now I'm gonna break it down, be more analytical, analyze it. All right, let's start. Here we go. Congress prevents the government from making laws which regulate. Now you say, regulate. What does regulate? Regulate, simply put, means to control, to maintain. Easier way for you to remember, think about a lot of y'all out there that got driving jobs. Some companies, they put a governor on the engine, which regulates its speed, which allows you only to go top speed about 55 miles per hour unless you're going downgrade. So it regulates, meaning it controls you, okay? So let's go back to that sentence again. Prevents the government from making laws which regulate, AKA control. Makes the laws which regulate an establishment, a building, a corporation, YouTube, Facebook, some type of corporation, establishment, all right? Of religion or that would prohibit. Now, prohibit is a tricky word. A lot of y'all smart ones, I want y'all to go back to one of our other videos, and it's titled just that. It's called Prohibit. Me and my two daughters, we did that because a lot of time prohibit confuses a lot of people. You got the word prohibit, and then you got the word not prohibit. So you go, wait a minute. Prohibit means, but what does not prohibit mean? Kind of confuse you. But what does prohibit means? Not allow, formally forbid. You know, like when the parents go, I forbid you to do that. Not allow. So let's go back to this sentence again. So now we got regulate. Regulate means to control. Prohibit means not allow. So let's go back again. Prevents the government from making laws which regulate, control, and establishment, some type of business, entity, whatever, of religion or that would prohibit, not allow. It will prohibit, not allow the freedom, not allow the freedom, not allow the free exercise of religion or abridge. Now you say, what does abridge mean? Abridge simply means, as it says, there'll be a lot of words in this one. Abridge simply means to shorten without losing its sense. So now think about abridge. A lot of times you may heard the word abridge in court proceedings. Like you may heard one lawyer say to the judge about another lawyer, Your Honor, could you please allow this other lawyer, could you please allow him to abridge his statement? And the judge may respond and say, yes, counsel, please shorten your statement, but he'll say abridge. Abridge your statement without losing its strength. Still make your point, but you got to shorten it. We're not going to be here all day. You're going on and on and on and on. Abridge it. Shorten your statement, but make the point. Get to the point. You get what I'm saying? So now, like it says, exercise religion or abridge the freedom of speech. So you, without abridging it, shortening it. The freedom of the press. The freedom of assembly. Assembly simply means to gather. All right? Or the right to petition. Now you say to yourself, what is a petition for? Very few out there. Petition is a formal written request to official or authority. When you got to write a statement. You know, almost like a grievance. We're going to get to that too. All right? To assembly. Or the right to petition the government for redress. Red, meaning the color red, and then R-E-S-S. Redress, one word. Redress. A lot of y'all, you're like, redress, what the heck is that? Okay, redress, what is redress? It means a remedy or set right, to rectify. So let's read that again. Now you know what redress means to. Or assembly, or the right to petition the government for redress. Like we want y'all to correct this. Redress of grievance. You go, okay, what's grievance? Cause to protest or complaint. So if you got a complaint, you want to redress. You get it? You got a grievance, aka complaint, that you want to redress, aka correct. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, this was ratified in December 15, 1791. So now you put that all together. Another reason I had to say this, because a lot of times they put words, big words, or what may seem or appear to be big words, but they're not. Remember, big words are nothing but little words. Just got to break it down. But a lot of times they will say things and put it in such annotation that it will confuse the average person. It kind of reminds me years ago, many years ago, like I bought a new sewing machine because I sew. And I remember I had showed the sewing machine to my daughters and my wife, and I said, look at this nonsense here. Look at the instructions. Look how they try to confuse people. Check this out, family. This what the instructions simply said on the first page. It said something like this. It said how to operate the machine. It said this right here. It said disengage from packaging and then interject the coaxial to a 3-prong receptacle for safety. You see what I'm saying? It was like, what? Wait. The receptacle, 3-prong. It's a 3-prong receptacle. What? Wire. What the heck is that? You know what that statement really said in that book? Simply take it out of the box and plug it in the wall. Real simple. That's all that said. Take it out of the box and plug it in the wall with a ground. That's with a 3-prong. You got the 2 that you plug things in, but that 3rd one, that's your ground. So it's a 3-prong. But you see how they made it sound complicated when it's not. Sometimes they do that. And sometimes that's what we pay lawyers for lawyers to break down contracts and stuff for us where we don't understand, because we go, man, I don't understand all these words. Just like what I read here, the First Amendment. You know, the average person, they go, what's redress? What? What's a petition? What's grievance? What's assembly? What's abridge? What's regulate? What's prohibit? What is all these big words? It will confuse the average person. That's why I broke that down for you guys. I'll say it again for you guys. Grievance, cause to protest or complaint. Redress. It's just a remedy to set right, to rectify. A petition, formal written request to official authority. Assembly, to gather. You could do an assembly to gather for something that was done wrong, where you get a group of y'all together, or it could even be you going to a concert. That's an assembly, a group of people gathering together. A bridge, to shorten something, but still keep the strength of your message that you're trying to get across. To regulate, to control. Prohibit, not allow. So you get what I'm saying? So my whole thing with this whole video, why I wanted to do it, was like, how dare one of these establishments decide to say, we're gonna take your video down, when like I said, I used no profanity. I did no unlawful things in that video. Nothing. I spoke about personal things that touched me, or people I know personally, when it's dealing with COVID-19 or the vaccine. That's what I talked about. And they got the nerve to say, oh, that's go against our policy. What's your policy? You're not my family. You're not my friends / co-workers or whoever, my neighbors. And then you're gonna say I violated you. How did I violate? You like most people in the world, you make the mistake. You don't know my pain. You don't know what the next man went through. You don't know what the next woman went through. How dare you try to pass judgment on how I'm supposed to feel? Like I'm supposed to feel the way you think I'm supposed to feel. I'm supposed to say what you think I'm supposed to say. You are not me. You don't know my pain. You don't know what I'm going through. So how dare you say, oh, you can't say that? Now see, if someone's speaking on child pornography, some type of violent acts, some type of violent injustice against the government or something like that, is reason to bring some type of justice against that person. But you just speaking from actual events, and you're not doing nothing injustice, no profanity, none of that nonsense, and you talking about that's go against y'all policy. Shame on that establishment that did that to me. Because that's a damn shame that you telling me what I'm saying is a problem, when we know whoever controls the media, that's who they changed the narrative, and they got you thinking these people are criminals, but these people are righteous. Bull crap. It's like the Malcolm X movie when he said, look up the word white. Everything white said pure, innocent, this and that. Then he said, look up the word black. Everything black, it said negative, bad, guilty. It's the most ridiculous. But who controls the media? It goes back to old statements and knowledge when you read on these things. Like it says, whoever is the victor writes the history. So think about it. When you go back to all those emperors, kings, and queens and all, whoever was the victor, they wrote the history. And they wrote the history to benefit them. It didn't matter that it's a lie. See, you know it's a lie when you take time to educate yourself and you look up the real history. But whoever's the victor writes the history. Whoever controls the media writes the narrative. And that's the only point that I was making, and they said it's going against their policy.
But see, people like you, Papito, and I don't mean to say people like you, people out there some people have their eyes open, and they're able to speak, and they want to do it. They want to be able to speak up, but they're not allowed to do that. Mm-hmm. They're allowed to keep it down, and not be able to be being putting out there the message, because the message that they do have is a wrong message. And it's a shame how you got a lot of people are falling for the wrong message. You're
right. Like some people would say exactly what you said. They just say, as the old saying goes, you say tomato, I say tomato. Mm-hmm. I call them sheeple. Like, you got sheep.
Yeah.
But you got people, you put the word together, sheeple. These are people that don't speak up, don't fight back, they have no resistance whatsoever. Just go along to get along. And like I said, to end this in closing, there was nothing out of category or out of character that I said in that video that I titled, "The media is supposed to inform you." That's what they're supposed to do. Let us know a bad storm is coming. Let us know that some violent stuff is happening or whatever that we could prevent. Let us know these things, sure. But no way is they supposed to try to influence to say, hey, this is what you should be doing. This is what you're supposed to be doing. We're going to run a commercial every single minute to say, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. No, they're not supposed to be trying to influence nobody. You inform, not influence. Try to influence. But on that note, as always, I love putting out positive, informative, educated videos. And I continue doing that. Subscribe, share, like, and comment. Peace.